All right, in the news, part 2, emergency transmission, spiritual news. You know, there is a wider scope of sect of things that are going on than what we realize. They taught about this in Bible seminary when I went to Liberty, and also taught about this at Johnson Bible College when I was there as a student back in the early 90s. Now, what I explained to you, well, actually early 2000s, I'm sorry, 2002 to 2004. Well, no, it was early 90s, 92, 94. Okay, I got mixed up there. Back when I was a student in the early 90s, they talked about this, there's a rainbow that was put on the earth. The rainbow told Noah and his family as a promise that God would not flood this world again. But he did not say that he would not flood a major town or city or state. Well, that same rainbow, along with the gravity, along with the atmosphere and everything, is believed to also be a barrier to hold back the devil, is the true devil coming into this. Now, the devil has principality over the air, as we know in the Bible. We know this because God said so. But we're talking about the devil really appearing and coming into our physical world. And the demons and the angels along with it physically coming into this world and appearing as in this world. They can look like aliens because they're really ugly and monstrous. And if they were to come into this world, that's what they would look like. So to us, they would look like aliens or beings. Well, with all the hydrogen bombs that they let off in the 60s, the late 60s, early 70s, that was part of an experiment that Bill Gates and a number of big shareholders were behind. And they believed that they were trying to destroy the radiation, the Darius belt that's in our atmosphere, to try to set off all kinds of explosions to cause that barrier to come down. Another thing that they've done is other experiments like black holes and things you hear about, they're talking about, where they've discovered a black hole. Or then just last week in Mexico, they said that people in some areas at one point in time could not even know where they were in time, like time just stopped, at least it felt like, because they know that through subatomic waves and other waves that they can send through telephones, like cell phones and other frequencies, can also cause confusion or like zombie-like symptoms to come over the human race. Or like, say, they wanted to destroy, say, a town. I mean, they could rig up these aliens, let's say, and say that aliens are coming, like Bill Clinton said last week, former president. He said that the aliens could show up anytime very soon. And, they might show up because the government might manufacture an alien event because of the technology and the lasers that they have, the future technology that the general public has not seen yet, that they could use on us to make it look like aliens, but really it's just people dressed up in alien-like or an alien-like beast that is using this technology to cause the world to unite to be fully under this new world order system that they're trying to deploy, that they've been trying to do for probably over 4 decades. But the thing is, that's what they're trying to do. And what we see is part of that is where they're using human waste and baby waste in soda products like Pepsi-Cola and Coca-Cola and other products, and also in your makeup and things. They're using dead people, and even in Japan, they even said, that they even make steaks out of the poop that they poop out. I kid you not. You can't make this up. They make food out of waste byproducts from human and animals, and they sell it in stores as food, and people cook it and eat it over there. And then another thing about, the world getting ready to collapse is that you hear about Christians getting their hearts literally torn out, their heads and their tails getting eaten by cannibalistic people. Putin has bragged about that along with his soldiers, where they have done that, took the hearts out of a person, just pulled it out really and just ate it right there. Without it being cooked. People were that crazy in this world today. But see, this is all part of the destruction of this world, the collapse. See, it's all connected with what we're talking about, the barrier, the spiritual barrier that God placed around here to protect us from evil and from the demons and from, the devil himself really literally coming into this universe, the physical universe, because the spiritual realm, and the devil's still over this earth. He still has control over this earth only. But the thing is, he can really come into this earth because of the barrier being destroyed. And I think that's what they've been trying to do, so that all these other people that are in the Illuminati organization and also the elite who are also a part of the Illuminati can have global domination and power and think that they are like gods that walk among us. And the Bible does talk about that there'll be men that think they're gods when really they're not. They're falsely under illusion. And they'll have powers and technologies that they use to control populations and masses all around the world for a short period of time. But when that time passes, God will come and quickly correct that situation, meaning the dead will be raised and be raptured, and the fallen and the judged, the ones that have fallen away, and will be all judged together and be condemned to hell, and with the wicked. And of course, the ones that have lived a good life and are faithful and did follow after God's own heart and did what He said and taught in Scripture, they would go to they would be moved from paradise to heaven. That's a promise that is given to us. It talks about that also in Isaiah. It talks about that also in Revelation, and also in the Gospels, some, and also in some of the letters from Paul, Apostle Paul, and some of his later writings and letters, and a little bit in Hebrews it talks about it. So there's a lot to be said about, the judgment and about paradise and what Hades is, where people falling away from God or people that don't believe or refuse to believe in God will go and will wait for judgment, because there's a red throne and a white throne judgment. White throne is for the saved. The red throne judgment is for the damned, the wicked, the ones that have fallen away from the Lord, or the ones that just haven't come at all. So these are all intertwined together. So, they could manufacture this alien thing. They could, do some kind of magic incantation and manifest this evil like man, like beast. Because recently they found in archaeological digs and other places in the world that they found a man skeletal remains that were skeletal, that were half man, half animal. And they recently uncovered the biblical giants that the Bible was talking about in Scripture. They recently found those too, and those remains. So, these things are real, even though our government has a tendency to lie about those kinds of things, because they don't want that truth to get out for some reason. But the thing is, this stuff really does exist, and they found the bones of a man looking half like a man and a goat, and a lion and a man. It had a lion face, where where they've done this stuff already before at the time of Rome. This stuff was being done. Well, the same thing is happening now, say 2,000 years later, a little over 2,000 years later. And what they need is a world event to occur so that the Antichrist can come on. And how they're going to do this through false flags and manufactured, lies of deception, so that the being, Satan, can come on the scene, which is the Antichrist. As a matter of fact, the Illuminati is holding hearings and secret meetings to try to chant to bring this Antichrist or beast into the physical reality. And of course, when the Antichrist does come, that Christians don't have much more time before Jesus returns, because the Bible and Revelation, it tells us that it's a key thing. There's one thing that will happen before a multitude of things happen before God returns, but this will all happen as a very short period of time window there. So what we see here really is where they're trying to insert all these things on a multidimensional level. They want to introduce a biological pig that has genetically been modified through the uses of GMO, and they want to kill out the natural pig, and they're genetically altering all the animals' DNA so they can make them more either less or desirable to eat, or I heard that they're going to alter the cow's DNA so they don't fart, so they don't flagellant, so they don't pass gas. It's crazy. That's a natural thing. And they say, well, when the cows do that, it's really hurting the environment. That's crazy, because cows have always done that. As a matter of fact, the world right now is a lot more cooler than it was when the world was first created. We see carbon going way down, now. Instead of the way Gore's chart, it shows that it's going off the charts, meaning the other opposite direction, which is a lie that was baked by the devil himself through Al Gore and introduced to the world as a lie. But the thing is, the charts, the real information is that carbon is going down, way down. It's a lot cooler now than it was 2,000 years ago. So the thing is, I don't know where they're getting their information from, but this is all propaganda because they want you to be scared as people. They want you to be afraid. You know, when they start putting human parts in, you know, food products and in makeup and other things and using it on fertilizer on farms, and they use it to heat hospitals, you know, called Operation Green, you know, that is really going on in Russia. You know that the world is gonna collapse soon, and you know the end is not too far away. Secondly, when you hear them talk about genetically mutating people and mutating, you know, animals and vegetables and all types of things, that's another thing that the world is not too far away from coming to an end. And then the third thing is, you know, them trying to bring in this real existence of the Antichrist to come on the scene, you know, and trying to manufacture false flags as before that thing, but and things of that sort. That's also another thing. You don't see mega churches complaining, do you, about all these beheadings when really all these churches out here, I don't care if you're big or small, should be outraged because of all the beheadings of Christians that are going on. That's the fourth thing that's going on. That means the world is not too far from coming to an end. So we have all this stuff happening on a multi-dimensional level of things that are going on. And nobody seems to even really realize it, or they don't care for the most part. And I hope that people will start to realize what's going on so they can care. Because we need to do something about it. Speak out against this New World Order mission, spying on the poles and in the street, manhole, trash can covers with these informational gathering droid-like things that pick up all the signals from all your cell phones and other devices as you're walking about town or wherever you go, you know, without a warrant. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, and whatever else they're doing with this data. Who knows? But the thing is, this is all a part of all the bigger things I was talking about. You know, it's to unite us under some global satanic New World Order alliance that has nothing to do with God at all. And it has to do with the God of the devil, the principality, the beast of this earth. And that's where it really all stems really from, is the devil. God did not want for humanity at all to be subject to this at all. And that's something that we need to really think about. You all subscribe down below. You know, you could agree or disagree, but, you know, tell people about this channel. And please help us out if you can. Make donations. Because this stuff, what I'm telling you, is earth-breaking, but it's really the truth of what's really going on. Some of y'all might think it's just an opinion, but no, it's really biblical stuff. The Bible actually supports a lot of this stuff. Talks about it. You just got to know how to read it, because it is all in there. I'll see you later, and I'll shoot up another update tomorrow, or if something more happens today with another transmission, emergency transmission for your spiritual well-being and wealth and warfare. See you tomorrow with another update. Michael DeSilvas, evangelist from New Hunter Church of Christ.